In other types of ministry that I received, whether it was attending a conference, seeing a counselor, having therapy, reading a book, whatever it was, I always left with something to do, a prescription or a to-do list, something, just try harder, one of those things. For 40 years? Every time I've come to Serenity Retreat for ministry, I come with something. I come with a point of pain. I come with a prayer need. I come with something current that's bothering me, that's hurting. Every time I've left, without exception, I have peace in that place. And it has spread out all over my life.
I am a counselor, therapist myself, so I certainly believe in working towards personal improvement and working through whatever kinds of dilemmas and places where you get stuck in life. So I was kind of flat emotionally, and I think that was sort of a way of protecting myself and from, well, what's under there, and how scary would this be, and if it's just me and in conversation with somebody else. I've experienced that many times, and while it can be very powerful and helpful, it's still something that I'm familiar with, and there's a level of fear. If you add God to that, I know that I'm going to be taken care of because I know how much He loves me. In other words, I was able to have more courage, and as a result, I feel more resolved and more peaceful and more at ease in general in terms of working through things that previously I was too afraid, too scared to approach those things.
As what I came in with was really this knowledge of behavior when I was a child that was bullying. I was bullying my younger sister, and I was bullying a neighborhood boy. I was very much like Lucy with Charlie Brown with the football. So it was similar tactics where I was using the same repetitive words, the same very thing over and over again until I got a certain response from these younger children. And so we were visiting that in prayer, and it led to more knowledge of a surgical procedure I had when I was 2 years old. And it was head knowledge at first, and then actually I got a picture of me not wanting to go into this surgery and battling and fighting and using my words, to leave me alone and let me go, and how it was ineffective. I felt powerless and that my words had no meaning and no impact. And we really had the Spirit come in, and it was a total healing in that memory. And then we revisited the childhood memories where I had been a bully, where I felt almost proud of what I'd been able to accomplish with these youngsters. I saw myself acting differently, consoling my sister, so sorry that I had, upset her or, hurt her in that memory. When I was 2, with no real conscious memory, I became convinced that, I was powerless and my words meant nothing, and my solution to that lie was to really be a bit overbearing, probably my whole life. Being too forceful, too bull in a china shop, just pushing and pushing. And so it was wonderful release, in a sense that I don't have to push anymore. My words are my words, and whether someone takes them or not, it no longer is a solution to a lie-based, problem for me.
I wound up sitting behind a dumpster on a concrete block with a very sharp knife, and I cut open 2 of the veins in my left wrist because I wanted to bleed out, and I was behind the dumpster because I didn't want anybody to find me. Didn't bleed very well, so immediately, just matter-of-factly, I thought, well, I'll just have to go home and take some aspirin, and then I'll come back and do it again, and it'll be okay. And just immediately, I recognized the voice of Jesus because I had encountered that in Theophostic prayer ministry. And, you know, I mean, it wasn't anything heavy. It wasn't you shouldn't kill yourself or whatever, you know. It wasn't condemning. It wasn't anything. It was just, you know, like a friend was there. And I just felt peace, and I felt, you know, like, okay. And I felt him say, you just need to go home and get some good rest. And, you know, I was just out of that chaos, just okay. And it was because I had encountered and experienced the truth of Jesus Christ and his love. Like everything I've worked on in prayer ministry has had a, I don't know, interconnected, interrelated effect. And, you know, I just immediately know, you know, the truth of Jesus in every circumstance.
Yes, well, I was very, very angry when the woman take my sister's life, and I didn't really know how to deal with it. It was just so much hatred. A person could look at me and I would want to hurt him. You know, or say something to me, I would want to hurt him. And so I got in trouble with some guys. They was going to kill me if I wouldn't have shot them, but I wanted to kill all of them, but in a sense I didn't. But the way I felt at that time, I really wanted to. And so I went to prison behind it. So they gave me 15 years. And all my troubles have been like murder, attempted murder, and aggravated assault. And that's a violent record. And society don't really want people back like that. And God put a comfort in me when people try to ridicule me or say things, try to get me away from the way I was living. But God kept a calm in me that I didn't understand. I don't even much have a thought about messing with drugs. My only thing is to really get into something that I can be a blessing to other people, because God has showed his grace to me. And I'm praising for it. It's only because of his goodness that I'm here today.